Hey there, Valuetainers.
So close to being ready. I'm full of shit. We're not ready.
10, 15.
You ready? You're good? You sure? Hey there, Valuetainers. I'm Schaub. This is Valuetainment Questions with a Comedian.
What made you transition into comedy after the MMA?
When I was fighting the UFC, I met a comedian, a fellow comedian, and we started doing a comedy podcast called Fighting the Kid. And then that got traction. You're talking 9 years ago, before everybody and their stepmom had a podcast. So then that just started to get traction, and then that led to live shows, comedy shows. And then we were like a dynamic duo, and then that led to me going off on my own, doing my own tour.
How did you guys pick your podcast names?
Fighting the Kid, so the first podcast, Fighting the Kid with Brian Callen, he came up with the name. He goes, yeah, they call me the Kid. I go, who calls you the Kid? He goes, on set, they call me the Kid. I go, but you're like 44 years old. He's like, yeah, they call me the Kid. And he goes, and you fight, so we'll call it the Fighting the Kid. I'm like, all right, that sounds stupid, but let's do it. And I realized that nobody calls him the Kid. He called himself the Kid. He made that up. And there you have Fighting the Kid.
Are there any topics that are off limits in comedy?
I don't think so, no. I know, comedy's job is to push the line. And, yeah, once you start censoring that, then we're really fucked.
Do you have any tattoos you regret?
You know, I probably would have waited. Like, I have kids, and if they want to get tattoos, I'm gonna tell them to wait till they're 21, because I'll pay for them to have like the best artists. I regret not working with the same artist, Dan Smith, for all of them. I regret that. I wish I worked with the same artist for all of them. But I have money when I was like 16 and 18, so I just went with whoever I could afford. And they weren't the best.
Who is the most underrated comedian?
There's a ton of them. So many good comedians out there who don't have a huge following. There's a guy who, he's starting to get a huge following. He's not underrated. Comics know he's probably the best as far as like wordsmith and putting it together and just writing, would be Mark Norman, everybody know who Mark Norman is in here? You do, because you're comedy. So I don't know if he's underrated, but he should be like Kevin Hart.
Has cancel culture changed your comedy?
Has cancel culture changed my comedy? No, not at all. But I'm not a very political, like I don't mess with politics. You know, Democrats and Republicans buy tickets, so I don't really mess with like those polarizing things. I'll talk about COVID. I'll make fun of our governor Newsom in California, but you know, it hasn't changed what I do though.
Would you rather be heckled or knocked out?
Heckled, man. Heckle, I can light them up. Knock out, you get knocked down in the UFC in your underwear. You gotta wait another like 8 months for you to try it again. I can get heckled and get up the next night, so it's not a big deal. Definitely heckled.
What's a harder audience to win over, MMA fans or comedy fans?
Comedy fans, easily. Comedy fans are tough to win over, especially with my background. I look like the guy that bullied you in high school, but I'm actually really nice and I have good jokes, so it's tough.
If you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would it be and why?
Maybe Hitler? Like, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Why, dude? Relax, man,
Do mermaids lay eggs or have babies?
I'll say have babies. Because laying eggs seems weird, right?
The bottom half is...
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm just saying, it's creepy to think of a mermaid laying eggs. And usually mermaids are like hot, so you don't want to think of eggs. And eggs aren't
Who do you want to play in the movie of your life?
God. Well, Aaron Hernandez passed away, so... God, I don't know. The Rock? I mean, if it's up to me, it'd be Jared Leto. Jared Leto's a method actor, so he put on weight to look like me. He's my favorite.
Which fictional character would you love to get in the ring with?
I guess like It from Stephen King, because he like killed kids, and I have kids, so I'd fuck it up. That's a good answer, right?
Stand-up or podcasting?
Stand-up.
Is it okay to take your shoes off on a plane?
No. And it's also not okay to wear sweats or your comfy cozies. Like, dude, you're in public. I know it's a plane, you're on there for a while. Dress up, man. I hate when people dress like fucking schlubs on planes. It's public. Have a little pride, man.
Would you rather run every time you move or scream every time you speak?
Run every time I move. Scream, I want to have a career. I was just screaming into the mics all the time, like, oh my God, that's terrible.
Bill Burr.
Yeah, that's true.
What's the most underrated city for comedy?
Either Spokane, Washington, or Oklahoma City.
Who would you rather be stuck in an elevator with for 24 hours, Theo or Brian?
Theo. Brian would be exhausted because I've been around him so much. He's like a brother, so I know all his tricks. I've heard every fucking story. But Theo's an interesting dude.
Who would win in a fight, Bobby Lee or Andrew Santino?
Oh, here's the thing. I know Bobby's out of shape right now, but Bobby was like California high school champ wrestler. So Santino really doesn't have a background in fighting, but he is a redhead, so there's a lot of anger there. So that's a good toss-up, man. I'll take Bobby with his wrestling background. Because his brother Stevie, who's on King the Sting that I do with Theo, we brought a kid out for him to wrestle and beat the shit out of him. And he's, you know, the younger brother. And Bobby used to beat his ass. So just by fight science there, I'm gonna go with Bobby over Santino. Thank you for watching, Valuetainers. My name's Brendan Schaub. Hopefully you enjoyed it.